Hi there, it's Sam from poodles.co.uk. Thank you very much for joining me today. Today's project is this one. It's a little box that holds 4 tea lights in it and they're scented. It's got a little sniff hole there and it just opens up like that and it folds flat for storage. Love it. Slightly battered IKEA tea lights in there, but you can see there's a little bit of extra depth there if you would prefer to put Yankee Candle ones in. And it's just adorable. Now I've made this box a few times. I've made it in cardstock with paper decorating. I've made it in paper, I've made it in thick paper, and I'm making it in free Celebration Designer Series paper today. Now you need a piece of paper that measures 7 3/4 by 5 1/4 inches, which in metric is 19.5 by 14. Super easy to make. I'm just going to bring my notes a little bit closer and tip them away from the light. Okay, so on the long side, score it at 3/4 inch and 7 inches. I was looking at the wrong bit of notes then. So in metric, that's 2 and 17.5. On the short side, we're going to score it at 3/4 inch, 2 1/4, 3, 4 1/2, and that's it. No, that's not right. Okay. Was right. I just hadn't trimmed my paper correctly. Oh dear, let's make that 5 1/4, not 5 3/4. Okay. Don't you just love it when things go wrong? But right, okay. So 3/4 inch, 2 1/4, 3 and 4 1/2, and that's 2, 6, 8 and 12 centimetres. So the measurements 5 1/4 by 7 3/4, but I cut mine at 5 3/4. Oops. Oh dear, right. Don't you just love it? Okay, so I'm going to fold my score lines. So this is the beautiful Botanical Butterflies Designer Series paper. Free with a £45 order, that's €60, while stocks last or until the 31st of March. Now, as you know, we've been having stuff selling out like crazy. So if you're loving this and you want this, grab it now. Don't wait. Okay, so if I fold it this way around, you can see, so I'm holding it portrait, so that's where lots and lots of score lines go in. Look down to one side or the other and separate and do a tiny little wedge, just one bit, and then follow the line all the way up and do exactly the same on the one that is literally immediately opposite. Tiny bit. So we've got that part separated and that one, so it's exactly the same. And that's going to form the top. So to create the top, these little squares here of scored line, pinch just like that. And because it's paper, you can do the pinch thing and you'll create that. And do that on every square, scored square you can find. And just pinch. So there's another one. Here's one. Just going to move that out of the way so you can see. There's 6 in total. So I'm just pinching with my fingers. I will come back in with my bone folder in a second. I'm just getting the shape. And here's the last one. So you end up with these funny shapes all the way around. So come back in with your bone folder just to give it a bit of a more permanent thing. Permanent crease. Can you hear that wind out of my door? Oh my goodness. Okay, so What I want to do now is I want to get this part punched in. So I'm going to create a template. So I'm using the plastic label punch. And I'm just going to pop a mini glue dot in the middle of the back of that. And where you've got, you'll feel that you don't wrap it that way around. You'll feel that's the bottom, and where you've cut it away, this is the top. So position it where you want it to go. I'm going to have it about there. And then that's my template so that I can punch around it. Which means I know that it's in just the right place, it's straight, and I'm happy. Okay, so let's get this put together, and I'm going to use mini glue dots on the busiest side of paper possible. So we've got a triangle here, bear with me, that's my black pen. So what we've got on the inside are all these triangles that have been created. The same all the way around. So I'm going to put a glue dot in this one and fold it over. And I'm going to do the same here, there and there. So it's the triangle that is closest to the inside part of the box. And when it folds over, it's going to stick down and stay in place. So let's come in with some more. Oh! Put that on silent. It's not a number I recognise. Quite possibly one of those junk calls. So there's a couple in there. Fold over, press down. Oh, and the cat's meowing now. And exactly the same up here. So again, the triangle that's closest to the middle. Fold that over, press down, fold that over, press down. And you will see that when you fold it all together, it creates the box. Now this is the point that you stop and you say, I'm going to fold it flat and leave it like that. So it's completely flat as a pancake. And you get your tea lights when you're ready to put them in. So also IKEA, also been in my inspiration drawer, also a bit battered. Oh look, I've got one there that's the wrong colour. I'm going to have to put that right down the other end. And it will form round nicely. Now, when we put the lid on, we're going to have some gaping issues, because that's going to keep popping open there. You do need to put some glue in, but you only do that at the point you're ready to build it and gift it away. So mini glue dot under the corner, and a mini glue dot under that corner as well. And that now will stay shut, and it will just open and close, open and close. Easy peasy. So let me get some ribbon round this one, and then I'm going to show you how to make a beautiful rolled rose. Because they are so easy to make. Tie that off into a square knot. Why can I not get hold of that bit? There it is. Come off. What is wrong with every pair of scissors in my office right now? There we go. So to make a rolled rose, I can't speak. Put the lid back on that. You need to start with a circle. So I'm going to grab my 2 1/4 inch punch, because it's a nice big circle. You can use layering circles, anything like that. And we're going to create a spiral, cut a spiral. And I'm going quite shallow with mine so that I get a nice tight rose. And you just keep going round and round. And because it's going to get rolled up, it doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. And, oh, hello, Fennel. Oh, she's got up and she's wandered off. No, she's going to go and investigate my big shot. She was 15 recently, the end of February. Oh, she's investigating my ribbons now. Oi, come over here. So that's the shape I've created. The wider it is, the less depth you'll have to your rose. Actually, you know what? I created this with the painted season. But hello, look. How very rude. But she's gorgeous. Okay, so what you need to have on hand is some liquid glue, hot glue, liquid glue, and mini glue dots. And I like to use my tweezers because I can grip the end. And you start with this thin end and you roll. And just keep rolling and twisting. She sat on the end of the desk just looking at me. What do you want? You've just had your lunch? Funny thing. Keep going round and round and round. Oh, and if it pops off, not to worry, because we can keep rolling, because I can get hold of it with my fingers now. Just keep coming round and round until you get to this last flattened bit, and you can let it relax a little bit. And what I like to do is put a big old blob of glue here and sort of up the middle as well. And usually that's pretty good at holding it in place. So I'm going to grip hold of that. No, it doesn't want to hold it in place at all. So a big blob of glue. I'm just going to squodge that and hold that for a second. I'm going to do one-handed punching because I want to create a couple of leaves. And so I've got my leaf builder punch and some Whisper White. There's one. There's another. Is that sticking? Oh, it doesn't want to. Oh, look, and I've got glue all over my nail. Stick down. It doesn't want to. And I need another hand to show you how to scrumple up the leaves. It's unrolled itself too much now. It's fine, that'll do. Okay, so covered in glue. So again, with your tweezers, go into the middle of the leaf, get hold of it with your fingers and just twist, and you get that dent in the middle. Obviously you can do this by hand just by folding, but it was a technique I was taught by Sophie Prestrel from my team, who's over in France, and she taught this technique and I thought it's really cool, I really like it. Okay, my rose is unrolling completely. You know what, I'm going to put a centre in that now. So, oops. So I'm going to have some of these. These are the frosted embellishments that carried over. So I'm going to grab one of these big ones and stick that in the middle. Because it's got too wide for what I wanted, but I was trying to be speedy. And I'm going to put a little bit of glue under there, and that will slip under and stick, and that one will slip under and stick, and that I think is a rather lovely project. I think so. Like I say, I die cut one of the painted seasons flowers for that, so I got a slightly different shape, and it's a smaller shape as well. That's obviously got bigger, but still cute nonetheless. Anyway, thank you ever so much for joining me. Hope to speak to you soon. Bye.